Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's fall time and this is something really yummy and warm that you can make really quick. It's one pot chicken loaded baked potato soup. So here are some of the ingredients you're going to be using. So what I like to do is I like to use chicken. I didn't know what kind of chicken I was going to be using, so I just grabbed something out the freezer. So as you can see, I used some chicken thighs. You're going to get those started by boil them in a pot of water. Just let them boil for about an hour to an hour and a half till they're like falling off the bone. And then we're going to start with the ingredients. So you need garlic powder, you need onion powder. I use 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Any kind will do. The Philadelphia cream cheese, let it be room temperature. Get you some russet potatoes, Idaho potatoes, whatever you want to use. Some chicken broth, doesn't matter what brand. 1 onion and some ranch seasoning. So I usually get the packet, so I got the entire seasoning. So you can use it equal up to like 1 packet. So you're going to start out by cutting up your potatoes. I do use a skinner to skin my potatoes first. And then I have a bowl waiting, so I can just put them in a nice cold bowl of water. So right here, I'm just chopping them up. You can get them to whatever size you want them to be. I'm just showing you how if you find some that are not as small as you want them to be, you just chop them, make them small as you want them to be. So they're usually like bite size. So this is how I skin my potatoes. I usually just get a potato skinner and just peel them up like this. And then once I get done, I just chop them up and just set them to the side so you can see, you don't want them to be eye-to-eye, so you just go ahead and set up to the side so the water doesn't change it. So be careful, guys. I cut my finger pretty bad while I was slicing the potatoes, and my daughter had to come and put a bandage on me. So this is like 1 onion, so a small normal size onion. You don't need a huge onion because I didn't even use this entire onion. So you're just going to slice the onion up so you can get them really small. I don't know how you do it, but this is how I do it. So I'm just chopping up the onions to get them down really small, and then I'm just going to dice them up. So I would say about a half a cup or almost, like a cup. And I'll show you the size, how they came out. So I'm just dicing them up. This is how I do it. Again, I'm not following any method. I just cook the way my eyes see it. So I'm just dicing up the onions. So that's 1 yellow onion. That's the bowl of onions that I use. That's 1 little cup. So I'm just showing you how. So once I got the chicken out of the pot, I removed the skin because I'm not putting any fat in it. I don't want any skin from the chicken. So as you can see, the skin just falls off. The chicken is so soft. I only use 1 hand because I had 1 hand because I cut my finger. So as you can see, it was easy to manage. The chicken, you just mash it up. It's falling off the bone. And it still was like a bone in there because it was thighs. So I had to just take that chicken bone out of there. Just get that out of there. And you don't want any other fat. So you just want to take that and just discard it and set it to the side. So as you can see, all you need is 2 pieces of chicken. You don't need a very big, a large amount of chicken because this turned out to be way more than I needed. So this is one of my daughter's favorite recipes in the wintertime. So this is just this is a 1 pot meal, and you can go about your day, finish your laundry, whatever you want to do. So season up your chicken after you get it all shredded up. You see that 2 pieces of chicken turn into, that large amount. So as you can see, I got my potatoes on the side in the water just sitting there. So once it's time to mix everything up, I have my crock pot waiting to the side, plug it up, and just put it on high when you start out. And then you just want to take the washed and rinsed potatoes. You put it in your pot, your crock pot. Then once you get it in there, you're going to go ahead and start. First thing is with the cream cheese, the Philadelphia cream cheese. Get that ready. And again, make sure that is room temperature. It's not really cold. You're just going to take the entire package of the Philadelphia, I can barely say it, Philadelphia cream cheese, and you're just going to put the entire packet in there. And this provides so much flavor. You wouldn't believe how good this is. I found this recipe on YouTube one time, and I just like a couple years ago, and I just wanted to change up from making chili all the time. So then once you do that, you go ahead and you start first with the ranch seasoning. So again, you can get the little ranch seasoning pack from the grocery store, but I got the bottle because it's easier. So I'm kind of heavy on the ranch, but don't do this. I wanted to do, the amount that equals the ranch packet, which it came out really good. This was so good. So put in the ranch seasoning, And after that, see, that's the amount of onions I use. Just put in your onions, your chopped onions. And I didn't even use the whole bowl, the little cup full. So after that, all of the shredded chicken that you had set to the side, you just want to go ahead and just put the chicken in there. Just dump it all in there. Everything is going to come together. So it might look like I'm dumping things on top, but it's going to all come together because it's a soup. So it cooks, it marinades, it just, everything meshes together. So after that, I'm just getting the chicken in there, making sure everything is in the pot. You're going to go ahead and get your cream of chicken, the first can. Go ahead and just put the can in there. You don't need to mix it with anything. You're just going to dump the can of cream of chicken in there and get your second can of cream of chicken. Dump that in there. Make sure you get it all out of there. You don't really have to do too much. Again, this is so easy to make. You don't have to do any measuring. You just, the most that you're going to measure is probably, I would say, probably the onions and nothing else really. So now I'm going to be putting my chicken broth in. And the chicken broth is just fill it up enough. You're not going to even use half of this. But I use enough so it gets a little bit moist so I can move things around in the soup. Because you want it to be soupy, but you don't want it to be watery. So it's going to be creamy. It's going to be a healthy, hearty soup. Something that can fill you up, but that's not really filling. You don't have to go back for a second. So I'm telling you, this is such a good soup for the winter time when it's cold outside, when you don't really feel like cooking, but you want something that's going to be hearty, that's going to fill you up. Try this soup. I'm telling you, so much flavor. So I put a little bit more onion powder, and I love adobo, so I put some adobo in here. And I forgot to also mention that I put parsley in here too. So I just shake a little bit of parsley in there, cover it up, and I put it on high for about the first hour. Just leave it on high. Go ahead, walk away, do whatever you want to do. Come back when you get ready to check on it. It's gonna, I forgot to add this part, guys. So I use about a half cup of shredded cheese, shredded cheddar cheese. So you're just going to put that in there. I forgot to put that on camera so I can get you guys as part of the recipe. But you're going to use about a half cup of shredded cheddar cheese. But I usually keep my big spoon right there next to me, and I couldn't find them. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to just grab a little small spoon. So what I'm doing here is, normally I don't really mix too much, but I just wanted to just mash it down just a little bit so it can get in there. And because it already had started cooking, I wanted to just cook with everything mixed together. Okay, so once again, just go ahead and cover it up. And maybe about an hour and a half, come back. This is how it looks when it's first starting. This was like the first 15 minutes because it was just going together. But this is after about an hour and a half. And that's how your soup is going to look. See how everything just blended together perfectly? This soup is delicious. It has so many flavors. It's so flavorful. The ranch seasoning, the Philadelphia cream cheese. It just tastes like a chowder. It's like so good. And the chicken is in there. So it was time for me to plate it up and just get me a bowl. And it was just perfect. I didn't have to watch it. I didn't have to come back and keep checking on it. You just let it cook for about 2 hours till your potatoes are tender. Sometimes I've let it stay on low for like 3 hours and finish cleaning the entire house, did laundry, and then you have a meal already ready. Especially on those days when you get ready, you come back from church and you're tired and you don't want to be cooking a long time. It has, it has the boneless chicken in there, it has the potatoes, and then just make you some vegetables on the side. And there you have it. One of my favorite fall time hearty meals is going to be the loaded baked potato. I can't say it more. The loaded baked potato chicken soup is so good. It's so filling. As you can see here, the taste test was everything. It was so good. I wanted to let you guys hear what I was saying, but I was just letting you know that it is just everything. The flavors just came together perfectly. You can serve this for a brunch. You can serve this for dinner. You can serve this for lunch. You will not be disappointed, trust me. So I hope you guys love this recipe. I hope you have a great Sunday, and I hope you'll come back to my channel soon. Bye.